Imagine holding a 15 million degree plasma core in your hands. Now imagine giving the keys to that core to a teenager who just wants to prove his dad is cool. In 60 seconds, the Sahara wasn't a desert, it was a jungle. In 120 seconds, it was a graveyard. This isn't a fable about trying your best. This is a forensic report on the day a human kid almost deleted the entire biosphere. We are looking at a planetary scale hard reset. The moment the asset was compromised, the Olympian IT department had only one solution: total deletion. Last time, the Olympians proved they could kill Titans. But ruling a planet is harder than winning a war. Today, the goal is simple: total segregation. The gods have the technology. Humans have the curiosity. When those two collide, the casualty count hits 100%. We're breaking down two specific executions that changed the laws of the universe forever. One in the sky, one in the woods. Both finalized by a 100 million volt kinetic slug. Before the crash, there was the kill. Apollo, the Olympic director of intelligence and light, needed to secure Delphi. This wasn't just a scenic temple. It was the world's central data hub. The problem? A giant venomous bioweapon named Phaethon was squatting on the property. Phaethon was a remnant of Gaia's old world security system. Apollo didn't negotiate. He arrived with a quiver of 1,000 high-velocity light shafts. "You're an evolutionary dead end, Phaethon," Apollo said. "Move or be deleted." The serpent hissed back. "This Earth is older than your throne, little god. Your light is just a flicker." Apollo fired. Every single one of those 1,000 shafts hit their mark. The Phaethon didn't just die. Its biological data was scrubbed from the map. Apollo was at his peak. Untouchable, arrogant, and that's when his mortal asset problem walked in. Phaethon, Apollo's illegitimate son, had been bullied at school. His mother, Clymene, was a high-tier mortal asset, basically a corporate liaison for Apollo on Earth. But the kids in the neighborhood didn't believe the DNA test. "Your dad isn't a god," they laughed. "He's just a deadbeat who skipped out on child support." Phaethon traveled to the Sun Palace, bypassed level 4 security, and stood before the Golden Throne. Apollo, feeling guilty for his 15-year absence, made the ultimate management error. He offered a blank check. "Ask for anything, son. I swear on the sticks." Phaethon didn't ask for money or a kingdom. He asked for the keys to the company car. "I want to drive the sun chariot. One shift. The sun. Just me. Let the whole world see who my father is." Apollo turned pale. "Son, that's not a car. That's a Dyson sphere-level engine. Even Zeus doesn't have the clearance to drive that alone." But the oath was locked. The Styx doesn't allow for takebacks. Apollo had let emotion override 4 billion years of safety protocols. The sun chariot is pulled by 4 fire-breathing stallions with 50,000 horsepower each. Their breath is pure radiation. The moment Phaethon grabbed the reins, the horses felt zero resistance. They knew a rookie was in the cockpit. The chariot dived. The standard Goldilocks orbit is 93 million miles. Within 30 seconds, the chariot veered out of the lane. First, it climbed too high. The atmosphere thinned. The poles froze instantly, locking 30% of the world's fresh water in ice. Then, Phaethon panicked. He jerked the reins. The horses dived. The chariot dropped to exactly 1,000 miles above the Earth's crust. The heat signature was catastrophic. In Ethiopia, the humidity dropped to 0%. Forests turned to ash in 0.4 seconds. The Nile started boiling, killing 100% of the aquatic biomass in the region. People's skin charred into a permanent dark pigment before they could even scream. On Olympus, the alarm bells were screaming. The planetary integrity sensor was blinking red. Zeus looked down and saw his favorite project, Earth, melting like a wax candle. "Apollo, kill the engine, disconnect the link," Zeus roared. "I can't," Apollo shouted back, his voice cracking. "He's locked in, he's my son." Zeus's eyes went cold. "He's a biological error, and he's about to brick the planet." Zeus didn't use a warning shot. He pulled a 100 million volt kinetic slug from the armory and sniped the boy out of the sky. Phaethon didn't fall. He evaporated. The chariot autopiloted back to orbit, but the damage was done. Libya was now a desert. The mortal asset had almost burned the divine investment. Critical opinion. This is the ultimate C-suite failure. Apollo's ego required a son to validate him, and that ego almost led to a total extinction event. The gods aren't loving parents. They are administrators who will kill their own kids to keep the servers running. While the sky was still smoking, another unauthorized access event was happening on the ground. Actaeon, a professional hunter with 50 elite canine assets, highly trained hunting dogs, accidentally stumbled into a restricted zone. He had breached the private bathing coordinates of Artemis, the director of wilderness security. This wasn't a mistake in the eyes of the law. It was a high-level security breach. Actaeon saw a goddess in her raw, unshielded state. I was just following a stag, Actaeon stuttered, dropping his bow. I didn't mean to. Artemis didn't even reach for her quiver. You've accessed encrypted divine data, Actaeon. You've seen the source code of a goddess. You cannot be allowed to transmit what you've seen. She didn't kill him with an arrow. That was too clean. She splashed reactive mutagen on him. In 15 seconds, Actaeon's bone density shifted. His skull elongated. His vocal cords snapped. He was no longer a human. He was a stag. But here's the twist. His dogs were still there. 50 elite killing machines trained by Actaeon himself to smell blood. They didn't recognize his DNA anymore. All they saw was a 200-pound target. The dogs tore their master apart in a 7-minute feeding frenzy. Artemis wasn't modest. She was protecting proprietary tech. Seeing a god's true form is like a modern human looking directly at a nuclear reactor core. It changes your molecular structure. The execution wasn't personal. It was a data wipe to ensure no mortal could ever claim to have mastered the sight of the divine. Why did these two specific events happen at the same time? Because the Phaethon incident proved that divine tools are fundamentally incompatible with mortal physiology. If a human touches a god's weapon, the planet breaks. Zeus realized he had a hierarchy problem. 1. Mortals are too weak to use the tech, but too curious to stay away. 2. Gods are too powerful to walk the earth without causing collateral damage. Zeus enacted the Great Separation. Mortals were permanently banned from accessing divine technology. No more chariot rides. No more seeing goddesses in the woods. But this left a vacuum. Earth still had monsters. Remnants of the Titan era that were still hungry. Humans couldn't kill them with bronze spears, and the gods were now overkill. Zeus needed a bridge. He needed a disposable soldier. Someone with enough divine DNA to survive the high-output technology, but enough mortal DNA to be expendable if they went rogue. This wasn't a choice made out of love. It was a strategic biological initiative. He wasn't looking for children. He was looking for hardware. The age of the pure god interacting with humans is over. Zeus has officially greenlit the Demigod program. He is searching for the perfect genetic cocktail to create the ultimate ground warrior. And he's found his first subject, a woman named Alcmene. She has the perfect genetic markers for the Hercules strain. But there's a problem. Zeus is married, and Hera, the director of domestic stability, has just seen the lab reports. She isn't just angry. She's planning a targeted assassination before the child is even born. Next time, Zeus is going to break his own marriage vows to create the ultimate weapon. But the first demigod won't find glory. He'll find a target on his back from day one. Next episode, the demigod arms race begins. Subscribe or stay in the dark.